I have no clue.
Well, I guess I'm going to go Monday to talk to the district attorney about filing color of law charges against the city attorney, city manager, chief of police. That's what the FBI has told me that I need to do. In the meantime, I did call my surveyors over there in Maryland, and they said that city attorney, city manager, chief of police, nor anyone else except a licensed surveyor can cite where those lines are. They are a licensed surveyor, and they will stand behind their survey. And that legally, if the city attorney, city manager, chief of police disagree with their survey, then they're supposed to hire a surveyor, or the neighbor hire a surveyor to come in and say that my survey is wrong. The surveyors. Yes. And their survey has been recorded. It is a legal document recorded at the courthouse. Now, my son told me that he talked to somebody, and
Like 15 minutes ago, probably.
yeah, he's in that car right there. He said that he was told that Jeff Campbell made this decision of where the property line was.
No, it was a survey from February or something like that he had.
A survey from February.
February 28th this year. I've got the paper from there. Somebody come out here, I guess, surveyed his property.
Jeff Campbell?
He was the previous owner.
Jeff Campbell or Jeff Harris?
He said Campbell.
Can I see the survey?
Got it already.
David Lamb said my property's right here, right through that shed. He got on my property. Want him arrested. They've been trespassed. And I've got it recorded. Want him trespassed. No, he's done been trespassed. They've been trespassed.
So they did give you all this, right?
Yes, he gave me.
That's what
David Lamb said I own here, straight through that shed, all the way back, by the property line. And Will trespassed him a while ago. He just walked up here and said, I can walk down that, that's my property.
Where'd he walk at?
Right down here. And on this. This is mine.
And where's your property start at?
My property. Off.
So it's
Will and David Lamb had the same thing. Here's Broadway. You see her house, that edge of that roof? It's my property. All this is my property over here. And that's what David Lamb went by this morning. I said, this is my property. Whatever's in that shed on this side, it's my property. And David told me that. I'm trying to be mean. Like I told David, I've done everything y'all asked me to do. Just like Annie told me he's going to suspend every damn one of y'all for coming up here last night.
what?
Suspend every damn one of you.
Suspend us for what?
Because the judge told y'all ain't allowed to come up here unless there's a bloodbath. his exact words this morning. If there's not no bloodshed, we're not coming. And I will suspend another officer for coming up here. And then, it wasn't 2 hours later, David drove up here in his squad car and told me, he said, Ronnie, you own all this property right through here. He said, I thought you was disputing over the alley in the backyard. And I said, no, we're disputing over this. He said, no, we're going by this right here, and this is your property, and this is my property, and that young man knows that they're fast. And Will sent a text to Rusty saying they have been trespassed from the property.
So hey, I just got
I know
the
you just got on. Hey, did I not do what you said last night?
Yeah.
And you told me to go show that paper to Andy, right? And that's what I told him. He said, this don't mean shit, Ronnie. We can't do nothing about it. We can't do nothing. And I said, not what the commissioner's saying. That's not what the judge is saying. Well, I'm calling the judge. Next thing I know, David shows up in his squad car, sheriff's car. Right. This is all your property. I'm sorry. I thought you was disputing over the alley in the back. This has never been a driveway. This belonged to the field. They poured this driveway and gave these people, the Joneses, permission to use it in 1939. Which there wasn't no court papers back then. It was just a say neighbor.
Yeah.
Just like the letter said. And I do not have to abide by it. So I do not want them walking on this side of it. That is on my property.
So what is that paper's hard to see? So is your property butt to the house or what?
Yeah, right to the house. See the roof line?
Yeah.
And I even I was told to put the no trespassing sign up. Put one back there. I put one down here on this end of the bottom of my shed. I didn't go on the property right in line with me because I knew they would tear it down. But if you look right behind the shed, there's a car with no tags. Or it's got tags on it, but they're expired. And I don't care. Like I told them, I'm not going to dispute that. They said, have it towed, Ronnie. I said, you know, this map might be off with 2 or 3 inches. Because it's an aerial map. But this comes from the courthouse, and the guy that bought this house is the one that got this paperwork. Home Wholesalers LLC. Got this. So, and David said if she wants to access this property, she has to access it through the alley on that side of the property. I am not allowed.
So where's this alley? I've never seen the alleyway. Where is it?
It's back here. Come here.
Back there?
And the thing about it is, she says she's got a legal survey. She does, but she told the guy that she owned 5 foot of this alley. And the city can't give us this alleyway because there is a main gas line going through. Okay? And I'll show you exactly where the gas line is because I was here when they dug it up and cut the gas off. But she's running 5 foot of this alley. This is our property. That pole right there, that fence line, this is our property. That pole. That's property. This was an alley, 10 foot over. School set right here. The gym set right here. This alley come up here, but it also come in and it curved up here. So you can see it.
Yeah.
It went back to the cafeteria. The alley went straight up here. See that? All them trees?
Yeah.
Turned that way. See, this is that alley. This is Red Devil Drive. This is the daycare. Going right back here. And it went up to there, and it turned between her and them, and then went back out to Smith Street because that was a flower shop. And that's how her trucks come in. They brought them flyers and come back out this way. So they didn't have to back out on the streets.
Gotcha.
But see, our actual property is right. That's why I had them push my shed up so far on the property. This is the property line. Here, what she's claiming is hers. And there's a gas line right here. Right here is the main gas line. It runs from here, and it runs straight across the street here to that alley. I'm just showing him the property lines. He didn't know there was an alley.
You don't have. I don't know if I'm about Bill.
I didn't threaten him.
He said he's.
I just asked him, don't come on my property. And did I not show you my property line? I said, do not go down.
Like I said, just be careful. Give a foot to it.
And I did. I give the air conditioner.
If I'm gonna walk by the side of the house, I wouldn't press any issue.
I didn't. I just told him I didn't want him walking on my property. And you trespassed him.
I haven't here.
That's good. You gotta trust me. I ain't never been because I'm gonna be up there packing guns and shooting me and everything else. They done threatened him once. To see?
By the time to put a big old fence up.
What? No.
Down to that.
And I hired an attorney. Look here. If you don't believe me, and nobody else believes me,
He said out of Nashville.
yes, sir.
$1,000.
Come on. Work.
So what is that right there?
That's a picture of this.
Oh,
I printed. I went to the lawyer's office today and printed it off downtown where I'm at.
You said a Jeff Campbell? Who was he again? Jeff Campbell?
Yeah, not the queer.
No.
No, he is 35, 40 years old. He is Home Wholesalers, LLC.
He owns that.
He owns that. And see, he got this
That's right
thrown
over.
over.
Who did you say came right here?
Hello? What? I'm in the backyard with Adam and Will. Alright. Bye. Now what?
Who did you say came out here and talked to you earlier?
David Lamb.
Lamb did.
Lown's the one that told me I owned right up beside her house and half of that shed, in which I hired this Trevor guy out of Nashville today. I've been on the phone with him since midnight last night. Since you come here, because I told you you usually go stir up some shit at him, beating on my door as loud as you did.
I wasn't
I know it wasn't. It was a
Hey, I done a sound. I was like,
I know you did, and that's what I tried to tell Abby, but she done had a few drinks.
and hell, I knocked like 3. I went 1, 2, 3, and I stopped. I didn't knock again.
I know it, and then I went to my bedroom door and checked, and there were no kids there, so I went to the back door in my underwear, if you remember, and said, yes, I will move it, but I'll go to pull right back in behind it. And like I told Andy this morning, because she told me to go show him that paperwork. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with it. I can't do nothing. The city can't do this and that. And I said, whatever. I said, David's got a copy. And then evidently David went out there and talked to Kenny Mayo yesterday. He went out there for something else. But then Kenny pulled him aside and explained to him what was going on. And he said, I thought they was arguing over the alley in the backyard. He said, no. The driveway, he said, that's never been a driveway. And then David come up there and told me, he said, Ronnie, you own up to this house and half this garage. Which I had been talking to the attorney, and I called him. I said, what'd you do? Because somebody's pissed off. Because this has not happened. They come and told me this was my property. And he said, I've done nothing but pull up some paperwork on this. He says, so you don't need me anymore? I said, yes, I do, because I want a civil suit and everything else against her. And your money back for what it's going to cost me for you. And he said, okay. And he sent me all these documents I got to sign and send back. Me and the man that actually owned it. I don't even actually own the property because I'm still paying for it. So this guy has agreed to do it all. And like you said, we can't go in that car's parked on there now. I know she drove it over there that night and parked it right here. But they don't need it more now, so it might be a foot over in theirs, a foot over in yours, or an inch in yours. So. That's right. And that's actual line. That's why I said that's why I actually put it right there. No good. Even with that fence. Because Sam.
Another thing, they're criminal trespass. So, say we leave here and I don't know their names. One of them just foot in the driveway. We gotta see it to arrest them.
See? Now David didn't say that.
Yeah.
David told me.
You can say it all day long.
It's on recording.
See what I'm saying? If you got it on video, then we could do it.
It's on video.
We gotta have proof. Like a picture, a video, something.
That's what she's mad about, because I put them security cameras up and I put 2 of them up.
Video of your phone.
No,
I'm saying anything. Yeah, we gotta have proof that he did that foot.
I'll come video you. If you can video me, I can video you. I said, no problem.
No problem at all.
I'll video you. But please do not walk on my property. And he took off, and it's on video.
Yeah, he told me he was walking out video on the show. He never stepped on the driveway.
It don't matter.
Secure.
David Lamb told me that. That's my property. Is that grass? And he said she drove up, and this is David's words now. Rusty told me something different. David told me if she pulled up in that driveway, call, and y'all would come and arrest her for criminal trespassing. I seen Rusty as she drove past the house. I said, well, she'll be back. That's irony, too. And then that was.
This is my property line as of now. This is the legal survey right here. This is the legal survey.
People that came out here to see those marks or anything.
They put them here.
I know. She can't claim that alley because that's not hers either. There's a gas line going. The city can't sell the gas. Give the alley to us because there's the main gas line.
It's all about
Right here. Gas line's right here.
the alley that used to go.
It goes right there.
Trees right there.
To them trees, and it turns down and goes between her and the next person's property.
This is my legal property line. An easement is exactly what it says it is. It is an easement. It means that the gas line, the utility lines can come across here to take care of their utilities. And can you block a public easement? Absolutely not. But this is still my property line. Even though I cannot block this is still my property line.
Lamb said go by this.
And when the next, when I go to court and get my 5 foot of the alley, I will be 5 foot over more. He's already got his 5 foot, 75 up, 75 foot from the street up the block there. It was already added illegally to his deed. It was in the measurement of the survey. His property is supposed to be 70 foot wide. Up at the front, it's 75 foot wide. Back here, it's 70 foot wide. Because they only claim 5 foot, up 75 foot. then it jumps back over like this and comes up. This part of the alley is 10 foot wide. That from the street up, 75 foot is only 5 foot wide. And it's the 5 foot that I pay taxes on. Because it's the 5 foot that goes with my property. It is my property.
Y'all can argue with the mayor, and that's what he told me to tell her to go see the mayor.
Yeah. All right. If you have any questions about this, you're going to have to go talk to our city mayor and manager.
I don't understand why his little
Because we're not.
plat map overrides a legal document done by a licensed surveyor.
We're not.
That's why we need you to clerk.
That's not criminal. That's not, we can't do nothing about this property issue stuff.
Exactly, which is
That's
why
why
y'all shouldn't
you
be out here
need to-
threatening to arrest me for using the dang driveway.
Well, right now we got told by our city that that's his property.
Because they're trying to steal my property.
You need to go up there and talk to him yourself. Okay.
Because he's a thief, the city attorney is a thief, the city manager is a thief, and
If
the
our
city
city
mayor is a
attorney
thief.
tells us
They're all
that
thieves,
this is
all
his
rolled in
property,
together.
and we gotta go by that until otherwise. Until somebody tells us different. Okay.
Well, it's just a bunch of thievery. That's
So
what it
we
is.
can't-
A thief, a liar, and a thief.
But it ain't. We're not doing it. We're
No,
just
but you're
we're doing
enforcing
our
the
job.
thievery.
We got to do our job still. We got to listen to our city attorney. If he tells us that's his property, and we got to
Actually,
otherwise.
the city attorney is not supposed to be involved in himself in police department.
Okay. He ain't involved in the police department's work.
Yes, he is.
He's one who looked at the paperwork on the property.
Look, he's
He
going
told
back and
us,
forth
Donnie
because
told us that he don't want you on the property, so then it's our place.
last week, the city attorney, whenever I called him, not last week, the week before, when I called him, because I turned my survey into him and everything, and I turned a copy of their survey from 1985. Both those surveys say the same thing, that alley is there. Whenever I talked to him, he told me that there was an alley there and that the police were to keep it clear and for the city manager or whoever to call him and talk to him and he would tell them that. And now we've got all this flip-flop bullshit. And all of a sudden, this week, it belongs to him.
I said you need to go up there and talk to our city manager.
Because
and
he's a local good old boy
Okay.
that another neighbor spent about $30,000 to get rid of him, bought a whole house and tore it down to get rid of him. He was such a good neighbor.
I don't care about that right now. Okay. But right now, you need to go up there and talk to the city. Huh?
Who put this up here?
I'm assuming he did.
No, it's not on his side.
Right now, it is.
This is my line right here.
From what our city attorney stated,
This
the
is
property
my line right here.
is his. Okay.
This is my line right here.
We're told it's actually right here. Like I said.
Oh, they're going to give him a 85-foot property frontage? I mean, 85 foot?
So it's
Wait.
my business.
No,
So you need to go talk to our city attorney and our city manager. Don't touch it. Okay. You want to go to jail? You want to go to jail?
Put it on his side.
It's just.
Put it on his side.
It's on
No,
his
it's
side.
not his side. This is my property and you're stealing it. You're stealing it. You're stealing my property that I paid for.
Listen.
I paid for this.
Listen.
You lying sack of shit, you piece of
Up
shit.
there and talk to the city attorney and all that.
Talk to him for what? He's a fucking thief.
Well, I can't help
Talk
you.
to him for what?
Okay.
Fucking thief. The whole goddamn time.
So I don't know what. So the lamb.
Lamb said my property is against her house and all the way back here. So she just destructed private property. Sorry. He told me y'all was to arrest her for that. You want to call him at home? Call him at home. That's his exact words. I own from the side of her house all the way back. I own half of that shed, as this property deed shows. This is O'Brien County Courthouse, and this is the guy that bought it, and that's the property he bought. she just tore down my sign, and it wasn't even all the way over on the property line.
You got your phone. Took a picture of it.
That's why I put it right in line with the fence, because I was going to be
Of the sign, like the angle of, straight. Let me get out of it. So
I put it there and was going to leave it legally right there, so she didn't have to tear down the shed on my property. This was all in 1939, said so. Mr. Fields gave this man permission to put that garage right there on his property. In 1939, we didn't have court documents that had to do anything. He done it as neighbors.
alright.
So, but she just yanked up. She's on my property. This is not her property. This is city property. Our property. Right here. This is the actual property line. That pole has been there since I was going to this school here. That pole.
So, did the city not talk to her about this?
Nobody's talked to her except for me.
Nope.
I got her on the list to come over and talk to her.
And I'm tired of being threatened.
I'll talk to our city attorney. Make sure everything's good. We'll
David
just,
Lamb and Andy told me that
do
the
it.
city attorney was going to start charging.
and plus, we couldn't arrest her for it anyways right now. Jail's not accepting people unless it's a violent crime with summons her. So we'll talk to our city. And tell us to summons her or property damage, we'll do that. I'll give her a ticket.
See them walking on the
On
side
the
of the house.
I don't care.
Okay.
They get in my driveway.
So next time we're over here, we can't. Right now, I think they said something about maybe next week they're gonna reopen the jail back up for any offenses. Right now, we cannot. We just have to cite them a ticket, give them a ticket for criminal trespass. Right now.
Lamb just told me this morning, call y'all. Y'all will come and arrest her for criminal trespassing and take her to jail. That's what he told
Lamb
me.
wants to
And I know what Lamb's in his own.
He doesn't
He's
get
been here
arrested for
since
that.
1978. I don't give a shit what Lamb
But
says.
I think because when I talked to the jail, because I called him the other day to see when they're already accepting people, he said they're going to try to do it next week, reopen
But
it.
I am not. And like I told you and made you turn your video, I am scared to go. That I sent my kids to West Tennessee, or Middle Tennessee, my two young ones, 7 and 11-year-old, because I'm afraid she's going to set this place on fire and try to burn mine down.
Well, if anything happens on your property, it's going to point to her. Everything.
I know, and that's what David, and that's what Andy said. Ronnie, you've obeyed everything our officers ask you, and that's the only thing you really got going for you right now is you've obeyed every group. I said, yeah. I said, but they come at 9:15, exactly when you knocked on my door. And he said, no, they didn't. I said, yes, they did. I said, you had 4 officers on duty, and every one of them was at my house last night at 9:15. And I said, I moved my vehicle and told them I was going to park behind her, but I wanted them to stay there until she left. And they done that. I said, and I praised every officer to David Lamb for what y'all have done. Because I said, normally a cop would have took her ass to jail already for the shit she's done. I'm sorry. That guy, he's in court in Kentucky. I can't remember what it was. I don't care.
DUI, probably, because he got arrested a while back for DUI.
He's been in court over all this stuff because I've been there every time because I took care of their attorney. It was a Kentucky attorney for 2 years, and I've been in court. And the damn sheriff's department hasn't hired me to be a bailiff in court. And to give me a squad car to come up there and park in this yard. said, when she vandalizes that damn Kentucky vehicle, I cleaned about 15, 20 nails she planted me right here in this driveway. And throw them back over there. So I get a flat if I come through there, which I don't come through here. But see, that's what Andy didn't understand this morning. Because I'm not calling y'all, but I was told to call y'all every time today. Every time she comes up to call y'all. And that's the only reason I've called. Is because that's what I was told to do. I've never called y'all before. I had to call 911 because she was scared of her life. But that's the alley. The trees is an alley. It went from Red Devil Drive up here, went right there, turned, and then went right back up to Smith Street. And see, Lamb said, I thought Tony was arguing over this house, not your driveway. That's never been a driveway. I got paperwork documented from a woman that was born and raised here when her parents built this house, Miss Fields. But she's a Hancock now, Sam Hancock's mother. He was born with straight up, that's why I put it there on the line. Because Sam said that's what he mowed. He said he mowed against the house, and then he mowed the fence this way. When he had to mow the yard when he was a kid. Oh my gosh. It's gonna get worse when Lamb come up here and said this was what it was.
I should have talked to her.